we're taking a deep dive into one of the most iconic Japanese sports cars of all time, the Mazda RX-7. This car is more than just a machine, it's a legend, a symbol of innovation, a masterpiece of balance and design, and a favorite of car enthusiasts all over the world. Whether you're a JDM lover, a motorsport fan, or just someone who appreciates engineering brilliance, the RX-7 is a car that captures hearts and turns heads. Let's start with what makes the RX-7 truly unique. The rotary engine. While most cars rely on pistons moving up and down, the RX-7 uses a completely different philosophy. At the heart of this car is Mazda's famous 1.3B rotary engine, a twin-rotor design that delivers high revs, low weight, and an unmistakable sound. It's not about brute power, it's about balance, smoothness, and that thrilling surge of revs that seems to never end. In its final and most refined form, the 1.3B used in the third generation RX-7 produced around 276 horsepower. But thanks to its lightweight chassis and perfect 50/50ths weight distribution, it felt like much more. The RX-7 wasn't just fast in a straight line, it was a pure driver's car. The handling was razor sharp, the steering full of feedback, and the overall driving experience was incredibly connected. You didn't drive an RX-7 like a regular car, you danced with it. Every corner became a moment to savor. The lightweight construction, the low-slung seating position, the short wheelbase, and the perfectly balanced chassis all worked together to create a car that felt alive in your hands. Visually, the RX-7 is timeless. The FD generation, which ran from 1992 to 2002, is often considered one of the most beautiful Japanese cars ever made. The flowing curves, the pop-up headlights, the wide rear arches, and the low aerodynamic body. It all comes together to form a design that looks just as good today as it did 3 decades ago. It's sleek, it's aggressive, and yet it has a kind of elegance that's rare in sports cars. From every angle, the RX-7 looks fast, even when it's standing still. Inside, the RX-7 was designed with the driver in mind. The cockpit wraps around you, putting all the controls right where you need them. The seats are supportive, the gauges are clear, and everything feels purposeful. This is a car that makes you feel like a racer the moment you sit down. It doesn't overwhelm you with luxury or technology. It focuses on giving you the purest driving experience possible. The RX-7's legacy isn't just about how it looks or drives, it's about how it made people feel. In the world of tuning and car culture, the RX-7 became a superstar. Its lightweight platform and powerful rotary engine made it a favorite for modifications. Whether it was for drifting, drag racing, or time attack builds, the RX-7 proved itself again and again. In the hands of tuners, the 13B engine has been pushed to insane horsepower levels, 500, 600, even over 1000 horsepower in some builds. And of course, we can't talk about the RX-7 without mentioning its pop culture fame. From its unforgettable appearances in the Fast and Furious franchise, to countless video games like Gran Turismo, Forza, and Need for Speed, the RX-7 has been a dream car for an entire generation. It became a symbol of Japanese performance, a rival to the Toyota Supra, the Nissan Skyline, and the Mitsubishi Evo. But while those cars used traditional engines, the RX-7 stood apart with its rotary heart, despite its greatness. The RX-7 also had its challenges. The rotary engine, while brilliant, requires proper maintenance and care. It's not like a typical engine. It burns oil by design. It runs hot, and if you don't treat it right, it won't last. That's part of what makes RX-7 ownership special. It demands respect. But for those who take the time to understand it, the rewards are unmatched. There's something magical about hearing a rotary at full song, spinning to 8,000 RPM, with the turbo spooling and the exhaust screaming. It's addictive. Mazda ended production of the RX-7 in 2002, and it left a hole in the sports car world that's never really been filled. The RX-8 tried to carry the torch, but it never captured the same raw emotion. Fans have been waiting for years for Mazda to bring back the RX-7, or at least a new rotary-powered sports car. There have been concept cars, rumors, and hints, but as of now, the RX-7 remains a masterpiece frozen in time. Today, the RX-7 is more than just a used car. It's a collector's item. Prices are rising fast, especially for clean, unmodified examples. The value of these cars has skyrocketed because people have realized what they are: the last of a breed, a reminder of an era when driving feel mattered more than lap times, when cars had soul, character, and uniqueness. For young enthusiasts who dream of owning an RX-7, the challenge is real. Finding a good one, maintaining it properly, and respecting its quirks takes commitment, but it's worth it. Driving an RX-7 isn't just about going from point A to point B, it's about the feeling, the emotion, the connection between man and machine. It's about enjoying the journey, not just the destination. Mazda's commitment to innovation and individuality is reflected in the RX-7. At a time when most manufacturers were chasing big horsepower numbers, Mazda chose to do things differently. They believed in lightweight design, clever engineering, and above all, the joy of driving. That's what makes the RX-7 special. It was never about showing off. It was about feeling something every time you turned the key. Let's also appreciate how the RX-7 influenced future cars. The idea of lightweight, high-revving engines, perfect balance, and rear-wheel drive became the blueprint for many modern sports cars. Even Mazda's own MX-5 Miata, though not as powerful, follows the same philosophy: pure driving pleasure. At Start Auto's time, we believe cars like the RX-7 are important. They remind us why we fell in love with cars in the first place, not because of touchscreens or driver assists or horsepower stats on paper, but because of how they make us feel when we're behind the wheel, because of how they challenge us, reward us, and inspire us. If you ever get the chance to drive a Mazda RX-7, don't pass it up. Whether it's an early SA22, the FC3S from the 80s, or the legendary FD3S from the 90s, each generation offers a different take on the same beautiful idea: a lightweight, driver-focused sports car with a rotary engine at its heart. You won't forget the sound, the sensation, the way it revs, and the way it turns. It stays with you. The RX-7 is more than just a car from the past. It's a piece of history. It's a representation of passion, creativity, and courage. The courage to do things differently, to innovate, and to build something that people would remember. And we do remember. Every time we hear that rotary buzz, every time we see those pop-up headlights, every time we see that sleek silhouette carving through a corner, we remember. So to all the RX-7 owners out there, respect. You're keeping a legend alive. And to those dreaming of owning one someday, keep the dream alive. Because some cars aren't just vehicles, they're stories, memories, emotions, and legacies. The RX-7 is all of that and more. Thanks for watching Start Autos. Time. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the legendary Mazda RX-7, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Do you own an RX-7? Have? You've driven one? Do you want one? We'd love to hear your stories and thoughts. Stay tuned for more amazing car content, reviews,